One of the things we have seen in the ballots we have looked at are of such a wide variety of dents and dings and marks, and I mean, to be honest with you, some of us leave scratching our head. How did this even happen? We are trying to determine what somebody was thinking from a piece of paper.
Unusual to see a judge on the witness stand, but in November of 2000, Palm Beach County Judge Charles Burton had to get up there. That's because the presidential election results in the county were too close to call. The unprecedented recount was happening in downtown West Palm, and Judge Burton was the boss of that, as the chairman of the election canvassing board.
Usually the role of the canvassing board is pretty simple. You're really there to certify elections. So ordinary circumstances, supervisor of elections office, they tabulate the ballots, we sign off, that's it. Obviously 2000 was a little different.
When I asked Judge Burton to do this interview, he was intrigued and amused. Why bring all of this back now, he wanted to know. To hear the war stories, I told him.
I do remember we got one written ballot. You know, it was a mail-in ballot, and instead of punching out the tabs there, the guy said, Al Gore and all Democrats. So we figured, okay, we can definitely figure out this guy's intent, but most of them weren't that easy.
For younger generations who don't remember or weren't even born yet in 2000, you may not realize Palm Beach County shaped the future of America.
Everybody was yapping. I mean, everybody was talking, everybody was standing behind us, everybody there arguing. It was crazy. It really was crazy. I remember, I think Bush had John Bolton was there. I remember him because you can't forget that mustache.
Bolton was an attorney and Republican consultant who then went on to become UN ambassador and national security advisor. And John Roberts was an advisor to the Bush camp in 2000. He's currently Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. The armies of lawyers for both the Democrats and the Republicans were trying to win the election by controlling the recounts. There was a machine recount, then a hand recount, then this went to Florida Supreme Court, then to the United States Supreme Court. And Palm Beach County was historically a Democrat stronghold. It seemed odd to many that Al Gore hadn't won here in a landslide. One reason why, perhaps he didn't, the ballot itself in Palm Beach County. It became the subject of a lawsuit. You see, in addition to Bush and Gore, Pat Buchanan was running for president for the Reform Party, and many Democrats who wanted to vote for Gore inadvertently punched the spot for Buchanan. Lots of others suspected they inserted their cards the wrong way.
The old days, they were punch card ballots. You insert the ballot into the machine. Hopefully you insert it correctly, because if you don't, who knows who you're voting for. But if you insert it correctly and you punch through, and there's a little tab that comes off and that corresponds to the person you're voting for, and that's the Chad, the little tab. And so there was all kinds of stories, you know. There's Chads on the floor. There's you know, Chads that are the machines making them. It was all kinds of stuff. There was one part we had to do listen to a presentation, because they believed that the Chads were, you know, filling up the box, and that was preventing people from punching the cards, which was all total nonsense. But
why do you call him a Chad? Who came up with that?
I have no idea.
Where is that person? Where's Chad? Who's Chad?
There's a lot of Chads probably after that election.
In December of 2000, Gore conceded. George W. Bush was the winner. Judge Burton went back to presiding over trials, and he's still on the bench today.
I will say it was a stressful time. I think I handled myself pretty well. I try to handle it the way I try and handle everything, with a little bit of a sense of humor. And, you know, history is the judge, right?
He said history will be the judge, but he's the judge. So history will judge the judge. Look, we've got to move on. We've got a lot more video from the year 2000 to show you in Chapter 2 of Recount County. I'll be back next Tuesday morning with that. to interview the guy who got so mad about those butterfly ballots that he sued. For now, for the I-Team, I'm Mike Magnoli, CBS 12 News.
I'm Jim Grimes. Click like and subscribe buttons if you want to see more stories like this that impact you.